Hi everyone, here's a quick tutorial on using grad tools to edit landscapes. What you find with a lot of landscape shots is you've got fairly distinct areas like the sky and the lower part of the foreground, which you want to treat differently. So you can go to work with the brush tool in Lightroom, but the grad is geared up to make your life a little bit easier for this. So if we wanted to edit the sky separately now from the lower part, what we can do with the grad is draw a little line like that. You see I'm juggling around with it a little bit because they are quite delicate things, and let go. So what we've done there, we've created this thing where above where we started is going to be affected. So if I put the exposure up a long way, you can see that's blown out. If I drag it down, it goes black. So everything above that grad is affected by what I do with the sliders in this particular grad tool, and everything below is left alone. Okay, so what I want to do up here then, let's see, so it's a nice sky. I want to make everything nice and contrasty, so I'm going to up the contrast. Maybe let's go up the highlights so the bright bits stand out a little bit more. See how these turbines in the distance have just sort of jumped out at us a little bit. And clarity, yeah, you see you're getting this texture in these lower clouds here. Now if anything it might be a little bit too dark now, so let's just slightly raise the exposure. It's all rack of the eye this. Okay, so we've got to a point there where I'm thinking, yeah, that looks pretty cool. So let's do the same to the lower part. So how do we do that? Well, what you need to do is click New over here. So on the grad, New, and this creates a brand new grad thing. We do exactly the same thing but in reverse. So this time, come on, just putting that into place like that. So now we can do all that stuff again down here. So I'm thinking, got lots of nice gravel, lots of grass. That wants to be nice and sharp. So I'm upping the sharpness a little bit. Quite subtle when it's zoomed out this far, but it's jumping out a little bit. Bit of clarity, bit of contrast, and I'm thinking doing it brighter. Yeah, that's nice, nice and bright. And yeah, let's go for a bit of colour, a bit more colour, because we had this low-lying sun. You get this gold sort of light catching the right-hand side of everything. Okay. So if I put the highlights up a little bit, that'll make the bright bits a bit brighter. Okay, so that's using two grad tools to brighten up a scene. You notice these things are leaning over a little bit. I'm going to use this crop tool or straighten tool as part of the crop. If you look over here at the top right, I'm going to draw a line so it follows the vertical line of this turbine here. I'm assuming that the people who built these things got them vertical. Okay, so that's probably going a little bit too far. It's very hard to draw. It's one of the shortcomings of Lightroom. You can't zoom into 100% and draw lines up straight things. So I'm just going to get still on the crop tool. You can just click on the outside and you get this rotation thing going on. And that's not quite there. So we'll hit done. And now we can go down to lens corrections and vertical. And you see what it's doing. If you go one way, you go that way. If you go the other way, they go in like that. So we're very slightly out there. So I think if you look at the big turbine on the right now, that line is following the vertical line pretty much spot on. To finish this off, you probably wander around with your dustbuster tool. Get rid of some of the spots. You may have noticed after cropping there's this white triangle there. If you want to get rid of those easily, you just click strain crop. Off it goes. So what the final touch is, well, I mean, most landscapes aren't complete without a vignette. Let's use this nice tool here. We'll soften the edges of the vignette by adding a bit of feather. And you can control how much of it's darkened with this midpoint thing. So that's just a quick 2 or 3 minutes, just taking this shot from a pretty flat shot to something reasonably eye-popping. Okay, hope that was helpful.